All right, guys, welcome back to Bloomington Buddies, where two buddies talk about all things sports. I'm Eddie Van here, joined by Quincy Bell, and we are kicking off our first episode of Season 2. But before we get started, I think that we didn't do this a lot last season, and I think it's very important, but got to give a special shout out to IUS TV for everything that they've allowed us to do, especially our man right here in studio with us, our producer Jackson.
Big round of applause.
Absolute
gave us plenty
beast.
of credit last semester. You're good.
I don't think so, but anyway, he does a lot of the stuff behind the scenes that you guys don't even notice. Pretty much everything he does allows us to do this, so big shout out to him. He's definitely going to be a lot more involved with us, though, talking, too. He's great with sports, which we're happy to have. And so, yeah, a special shout-out to him. He's done a lot for us last season, and he's continuing to be with us this season, worked around schedules. So really, really appreciate you for all that you do here. And then also, once again, this season, I'm going to be a lot more engaged with our social media. I know last season we were still getting used to things, still trying to get used to our college stuff, our schedules. But this semester, a lot more engaged. So if you guys have any topics, any questions you want to ask us that we'll answer on air, DM us on Instagram, send us a message on TikTok. I will make sure to be checking that at least once every day. So make sure to head to those. It's at Bloomington_buddies. And then, of course, our YouTube is where we drop our videos. If you're listening on Spotify, we will have those under IUS TV. And then you can find our episodes under Bloomington Buddies there. So really appreciate all that, guys. But this week we got this episode we got a lot of things to talk about. It's going to be a little bit longer. First, I do want to start off with just brief recaps of everything that happened while we were done. Not anything major, just some of the bigger sports that happened. We'll just talk about for like maybe a minute or two. And then we're going to move into a couple things. We're going to talk about Indiana basketball, both the women's and the men's. And then we are going to talk about NFL, of course. That's major. We're definitely, I think we're still planning on trying to do a little bit of like a live stream for the Super Bowl. Maybe not necessarily directly engaged, but
I'm trying to have a bunch of people over for a Super Bowl party.
I'm trying to do it. I want to do it somewhere. I want to do it in one of the rooms, because it's not we're not going to be able to fit 20 people in a dorm with comfortably. So I'm going to try to get maybe a pod that we can get into.
Also, for the people that care, bracketologies are going to be uploaded way more frequently on my channel, and they will be talked about extensively here as well.
And I will also be starting to do bracketologies when we get into February. That's when I start mine. I know you start yours literally so early, but I always start mine.
I do mine all season long.
Yeah, which I don't. I do mine. We start once February 1st hits. You'll see me do 2 or 3 of them.
I can run through. Yeah, Johnny made a bracket on here.
Honestly, so. Yeah, no, I don't break my bracket. I don't make my bracket till February, and then my official one will come out at the literally 2 days before March Madness begins. So, and then knowing me, I will make 30 of them in that stretch. So
I'll see. My belief is one man, one bracket. I make
no. Yeah, I have one main bracket, but I'll make 30 like weird brackets.
Actually, I make 2. I make my actual one and one where I pick my favorite team. So,
I make those 2, and then I make ones where I literally just go in and I select it to randomly generate a bracket by all statistics or just 3-pointers, and then I just literally, there are times I will put those in pools just to see what happens.
All right, but we're not going to go through like picks, but I can go through seed projections.
Yeah, we may do that later, but that's probably not going to be this show just because we got a lot of stuff to talk about, and that'll be later in the season. We also want to talk a little bit NBA, because that is when we're starting to hit that season where we're going to get to the All-Star game, and that's going to be the tipping point. Playoff race is really going to start coming into effect here. But yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and start off first. Let's save Indiana basketball and stuff for last, because that were some big wins. Let's just get the bigger stuff out of the way. First off, called it before the World Cup even started. Messi is on top. He has now completed everything he's wanted. He is no longer going to be playing for Argentina. He said it at the beginning, and then he came out and said maybe, and he has officially confirmed he is done with international play. So congratulations to the GOAT. Also, some sad news. Speaking of the GOAT, we unfortunately had Pele pass away over the break. He actually passed away the day after Brazil lost in the World Cup to Croatia. So, a sad passing of a legend that will forever be remembered in the sport. And I think that it is kind of, even though he did pass away, we do have a little bit of a funny moment with him and Messi, where when Messi was growing up, Pele actually said that he probably wasn't going to be able to amount to much because of his size. And right before he passed away, he said that he reminded him of himself, because he never gave up, kind of fought through everything, and has accomplished so much in the shorter span. So sad passing of one of the greatest of all time, but glad to see that we finally allowed Messi to finally secure everything he's wanted. So, and that was a big moment for me as an Argentina fan. I mean, I know a lot of Argentina fans across the world were absolutely losing their mind, but so that was definitely a fun moment.
That game was crazy.
It was crazy.
That final
went
game
to PKs
when Argentina basically was winning the whole game, and then they sold it right at the end.
Kylian Mbappe scored two goals.
They were
in
winning
less
the
than
whole
90
game,
seconds.
sold it at the end, took the lead back, sold the lead again,
Correct.
and then almost lost in regulation, and then won it in penalty kicks.
Correct. They did, and it was what was the biggest thing is the fact that Kylian Mbappe scored 2 goals in 83 seconds, which, by the way, is the fastest two-span goal in World Cup history. He also scored a hat trick in the final, which has not been done in, gosh, I want to say since 2000, and I think it was 2002. I think is right. Yeah, I think it was 2002 was the last time there was a hat trick scored in the World Cup. By the way, if there's one player I'm scared that's going to pass Messi as the GOAT, it is that man right there, Kylian Mbappe. He is absolutely ridiculous. The only reason I'm so pissed, though, because the only reason Messi didn't get every single award except for the Golden Glove is because of Kylian Mbappe, because of his final goal in
Mbappe
overtime.
was the best player of the tournament.
No, he wasn't.
He was easily the best player in the tournament.
He easily was not. He was in the final. I can maybe see, but I don't think so either because Messi carried his team to a win. I mean, Messi had a goal and an assist, and he won it in PKs. Messi is also the only. What was it? Oh God, there was some. Oh, he's the only player to hit a penalty kick in all rounds of the World Cup in the knockout rounds. He hit one in the 16, in the 8, and the 4. And
that's one rule I don't like with soccer with penalties is if Random Joe gets tripped, Random Joe kicks the penalty kick, not Superstar kicks the penalty kick.
It's just like a technical in basketball. You can pick who takes the free throw.
Yeah, I don't like that though. I think they should make it whoever gets.
I don't
kick.
because it
Same
was
thing with technical fouls.
Because if that's the case, then you would do a technical foul on purpose on the worst. No, that's stupid.
No,
that's part of the punishment.
Okay, whatever.
But yeah, so that was a big shout out to that team. I'm so happy for that team. And the atmosphere around around the whole world with that was insane. Something you'll never see in the Super Bowl is the opposing team really showing emotion. When he walked into PSG, first thing that Kylian Mbappe did was give the man a hug and say congratulations. You really don't ever see that off air on, after the Super Bowl. They do it on camera to make it seem all sappy, and then as soon as they're done, like, yeah, I hate you, But so yeah, super good win there. Also, as much as we hate to talk about it, wasn't really over break, but Georgia becomes the first team in FBS playoff history to win back-to-back national championships. Stetson Bennett gets another national championship. And I know me and producer Jackson talked about this before Quincy got here. I'm so happy TCU won, but I'm also not happy that they blew it that bad. So Jackson, go in.
What happened?
No, we're letting producer Jackson talk about this because I know he's got some shit he wants to say. Go ahead.
I've got so much that. Like, for the Michigan game, I've got so much stuff. Specifically for the national championship, probably the worst national championship I've ever seen.
100%.
Worst national championship I've ever
100%.
seen.
It was horrible.
It was horrible.
I did a live stream for it. Quincy was sick.
I was on my deathbed.
Was that like a 20-minute live stream right there?
No. It was 2 hours.
No, I was on my deathbed.
I really was
hell.
Now you know how it feels
from watching that game.
Yeah. So anyway, I did it through the first 3 quarters, hoping that TCU was going to do that weird thing where they came back again, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the 3rd quarter, I literally went, all right, everybody watching, we're actually changing the name of this stream. We're going to answer Q&A with Bloomington buddies, and I completely just turned the game off. And the last half an hour is just me answering chat questions.
Are you kidding?
I'm not even joking.
That's fantastic.
And so I literally was, we're done here. Any questions from the chat? And it was, the people in the chat would just started asking questions, and I was like, yeah, I'm done. Yeah, we're done with this game. So
this game's over.
It was god awful. Worst game.
It just, in terms of the Michigan TCU game, just because I know that area much better.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're more of a Michigan. So
no doubt in my mind whatsoever, the Michigan overall is the much better team than TCU. That day TCU was just the much better team. Not much better, I shouldn't say that, but they were the better team because Michigan had an absolutely fantastic second half. First half was utterly abysmal.
Yeah.
First half, there are certain calls that Michigan fans are really, really mad about, and that I was mad about too in the moment. There was one catch that we had where I thought it was a touchdown. Refs called him down at the 1 yard line.
That was a very controversial, and I still to this day rewatch it just to see because it looked like he had it. But then if you look at it from a different angle, it looks like he didn't catch it until he's in the end zone.
It doesn't really matter. You got to convert from the half yard.
Yeah.
That's my point. That's my point. Like, that call did not have to be that big of a deal whatsoever. It could have just been like, all right, whatever, I guess we'll just score right now. Yeah. Then, of course, we turn the ball over.
You could have pulled a Tyler Huntley. I mean, you could have hopped over the pile, let him fumble, return it 99 yards, but you didn't.
That was bad. It was, that was not a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
I was in Kansas City with my family, and just my dad and my brothers, and we all were just like,
I can't
losing
imagine.
our minds.
Yeah.
Like, it was just literally the day that the CFP was announced.
Correct.
We were all just like, all right, frog legs for dinner. Let's go. We got this. We're going natty bound.
The main mistake I think Michigan did was they walked in way too confident.
Exactly.
Like, we're gonna play smash mouth.
And the funny thing is when I saw
a bunch of little itty bitty boys.
I called it. I called that
TCU.
TCU would win just because I 100% figured everybody was like, well, TCU is gonna come off the USC win with with too much, not TCU.
They lost before
they lost.
I was gonna say,
and that's what I'm saying. And everybody said, oh, TCU just lost. They're going to be too low down in the ground. They're now they've lost all of their momentum. They're going to suck. And Michigan was like, oh, we just kicked Ohio State's ass. We're going to win this game.
Yeah.
And we just beat Purdue. And everybody was like, Michigan. And I was like, no, I think that your guys are going to be too confident and you're going to lose. And sure enough,
No, yeah, we were. That's basically exactly kind of the mindset for that first half. Like for Michigan, including myself, and I can guarantee a majority of the fan base, our minds were like, all right, how do we beat Georgia?
Correct.
How do we beat Georgia?
And it was a trap game, and that's what I said.
Like, how do we beat Georgia, or how do we beat Ohio State again?
And see, Georgia almost ran into the same problem you did. They were too focused on the natty. And
they were.
They got lucky as hell that, apparently I think that the Dallas Cowboys kicker actually played with the Ohio State Buckeyes that day. Either that
was
or
a 50-yard.
Either that or what
it wasn't an extra point.
Either that or what they're not telling us is that is the Dallas Cowboys kicker, and they actually signed him before the playoffs. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, that kick. The one time that my family and I were cheering throughout the whole night was when Ohio State lost. We were just like.
It's like
the only time that entire night when we were all up on our feet, like anxiously watching the TV, was when that final kick came up and we saw him.
Well, see, but the sad thing is that is actually that's the only time I've ever wanted Ohio State to really win. Is because I felt like TCU had a better chance of beating Ohio State than Georgia.
They would have had a better chance,
and I think they could have because Ohio State I feel like hasn't been to. In so long, and I feel like that they would again say like, they'd pull the same thing Michigan, and we just beat Georgia.
Yeah,
we're gonna go in and we're gonna kick their ass, and it's like they would have.
I'm curious to see what you guys think about the Ryan Day situation and like what the pressure on him. Like, is there more pressure on him, or do you think on not Urban Meyer?
Harbaugh?
No, not Harbaugh. God, Alabama.
Saban. Are you saying Saban? I think that right now there's more. I'm definitely saying there's more pressure on Saban because Saban missed the playoffs, which is not a Saban thing to do. He's now losing his franchise QB. Well, not really franchise, but Bryce Young declared for the draft way earlier than everybody really thought he would go. You know what? I don't want to end like this. I'm going to come back for another season, and he didn't. So
the thing is, though, is Saban has 6 national titles. Ryan Day has 0.
Correct.
Saban is not.
But
really,
Saban has also just been signed to a 10-year contract where he's not doing well.
Feeling the pressure to win now as much as Ryan Day is. Ryan Day has just gotten his ass whooped by Michigan 2 years in a row. He's for sure feeling the pressure more than
I don't, because you know why? He still made the fucking playoffs, and it would be different if he lost to Michigan, missed the playoffs, and Michigan went to the Natty. But Michigan and Ohio State ended in the exact same spot.
That's the thing.
They both lost first round. So you're right. Ryan Day is probably like shit.
Won, when was the last time he even won the Big Ten? Oh, when Northwestern made the Big Ten title or whatever?
To be fair, Michigan has won the Big Ten against Purdue. But either way, my point is that
did we ever talk about the Purdue IU game on here? I think
that was, we did. We did talk about it because it was right.
Yeah, you guys
it was November 26th. Anyway, but yeah, I do also want to ask your opinion on this as a Michigan fan. Do you think John Harbaugh should have came back?
Do I think Jim Harbaugh should
not
come
John.
back?
Oh my god, I get him mixed up. Jim, because he right now
I think
is going to face a lot of shit because Michigan's in trouble.
I definitely think he should have come back. I don't think the theatrics of playing the whole like, oh, I might go to the NFL and everything. It's the same dog and pony show that he's been doing for the past couple of years now. He keeps doing it, and I don't understand why, because like he mainly hints to the media. It's like, oh yeah, like I'll most likely be coming back, but I just want to keep my options open. It's like you want to, I like we all know his mindset. He wants to win a national title and everything, but like
Michigan is facing some stuff going on right now. Like the sports team is having some scandals going on. So, but he could take the fall for that.
No, yeah, I definitely saw that.
So I think him looking was legit this time. I think he honestly thought about it.
What was it, like a week or something like that after the national title?
It was a couple of days after they lost. And the scandals came out.
Was it a couple days? I thought it was like a week after the national title.
That was when Jim said, I may not be coming back. But there was like, they started to surface a couple days, and then they really got big like about a week.
Yeah.
And then Jim said, yeah, I'm looking at NFL coaching jobs, because everybody was like, well, he doesn't want to take the fall for it. And that's why I was shocked. I was genuinely shocked when he said he's staying, because I really thought with these approaching, he was going to say, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, that was when I did see that, there was a small part of me that was like, okay, yeah, he might not come back.
Yeah.
But I also knew in my heart of hearts, I'm like, yeah, no, he's going to come back. I think he will. You know, the university, he went from, it's crazy, like the trajectory of Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. He went from the most hated coach.
He still is to me, because I hate Michigan, but
by the fan base.
In the eyes of the fan base. Yeah. You know, he went from the most hated coach in school history. Like, I remember, like, I think it was 3 years ago when he officially re-signed with the school. I'm like, why are we re-signing him? You know, I remember
he's a good coach. I can't deny it.
But yeah, now the past few years, it's like, oh, okay, this was his plan.
Yeah,
I see. It's finally come to fruition for him. You know, so.
The funny thing is, though, I still think if he would have left, you guys would have still been good for a year, because you would have still had his recruiting class.
Yeah, we still would have had the same recruiting class and everything. We still would have had JJ. We still would have had Blake Corum and all them, you know. So, I mean...
I am shocked. I mean, I'm not, because Blake got hurt, so what would his real draft stock be in the NFL? But, like, still.
That was my thing. I was not worried about him leaving, because he was hurt. He wasn't going to be able to make the combine.
Yeah.
And, you know, he probably wasn't going to be able to get drafted very high, because he got hurt and everything. So I wasn't worried about him coming back.
But I am scared if he's going to pull... As much as I love our Hoosiers, and, like, I remember the Jordan Howard, the Tevin Coleman era. The one thing I hated about both of them, and I still to this day do, is their last season they played one game and then they just quit playing. They faked injury so that they didn't have to play, so that they would be good for the draft. Mm-hmm. And I absolutely to this day hate them for that, because that was 2 seasons that we lost 2 back-to-back bowls in.
Yeah.
Because we should have won if we would have had a star running back. And hopefully for during the IU game, of course, Blake Corum decides to do that. But you know, I hate when running backs, or anybody for that matter, does that. I think it's so stupid.
Oh, Donovan Edwards is literally better than Blake Corum, from what I've seen.
He looked better in certain games, but that's
definitely
because
a good debate to have on who's better. I think still personally Blake Corum is better, but
I think it depends on what aspect we're talking about. Edwards is bigger. Blake Corum is more agile, which is it depends. They're both different types of running.
Blake Corum did like nothing against IU,
and that was like that was like my big thing when it came to the TCU game. Like, we didn't want to like let our guys, like our good runners, run the ball. Like, whether it was Donovan Edwards or if it was literally just JJ getting out of the pocket. You know?
Yeah, Edwards looked great against TCU. I mean, he looked fantastic.
Yeah.
But the reason they didn't do much against IU, to be fair, Michigan didn't do much shit against IU until the second half. I mean, it was 10-10 at halftime. Everybody was like, holy shit, we're actually doing it.
Yeah, man,
and then, of course, JJ came out and was like, yeah, fuck you guys.
At first, I thought it was me because, like, of course, like, because I went to that game. Yeah. And I was decked out in all my Michigan gear, and I was just like...
I so wanted to find you. Just, Jackson, sit the fuck down!
I could see you guys from across the stadium.
I was
on the other side.
I was in front row,
I'm pretty sure that's them, actually.
It was so funny because literally we were talking... I don't know, were you with me that game?
Yeah, because you guys are in the front row of every single IU game.
Yeah, I get there 2 hours early. Just because I can
just inside the stadium 2 hours early.
I just cut in line with Eddie.
Yeah, I almost stopped letting him in because he'd show up like fucking like 10 minutes before the gates open and be like, "Oh, there's Eddie." And I'm like, "Yeah, I've been here for 2 hours," and he's like just cutting. But no,
get all my boys to cut in.
Yeah, like, and had literally I'd bring 3 people, he'd bring 10. I'm like, "Yo, what the hell?" But no, so yeah, we had a fun. We actually got on national television 3 times that game.
I think so.
I think he even went back and found us on national broadcast.
I did, yeah.
Oh God.
But no, we had so much fun. But yeah, no, that I think that Michigan is sadly going to be a good team again, but we'll see.
We should talk.
Blue.
We should talk about college basketball.
We're going to talk about that last. We're saving that for the big finale.
Facts.
All right, NFL? Next up. I think NFL.
Actually,
either NFL or NBA.
Sorry, real quick, just if you want to stick on college football, real quick. Trace Jackson Davis's younger brother is committed to IU.
How did I forget about that? Holy shit. Hey, we got a quarterback.
Okay. The thing is, I still think Dexter Williams will be better.
Okay, depends. I think
if they start him over Dexter Williams, I will be upset.
Okay, let's look at it this way. Okay.
Dexter, I think he'll be good, but like he's a third string from Tennessee. He's not going to be able to start in the Big Ten day one.
Okay, first off, there's a humongous difference. Dexter Williams is more of a spread offense quarterback. He's like a Lamar.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the throw power that
TJD's little brother.
Yes, I always forget his name. I can never remember the man's name because he's not the most famous Trace Jackson.
He'll just be TJD's little brother.
Yeah, we're just gonna put TG's little brother. But yeah, so either way, he's got a better arm. I've seen him throw.
Yeah,
he's got a better arm. So if they're gonna stick with this dumbass style, which I don't agree with, because we have, by the way, Jalen Lucas, telling you right now, he's gonna be the best running back in the Big Ten by the time he's done.
And he's a receiver, ain't he?
No, he plays both.
Okay, he's a wide back.
He's a wide back. He's like
a
Deebo
Samuel type player. Okay.
And by the way, he's the only person in the Big Ten that scored 2 kickoff returns because the dude is fast as hell. Dude is ridiculously quick. And if you put that as a spread offense with Dexter, holy shit, will we be a threat?
I love that. They should run the action.
We need a better O-line. That is where our recruiting class needs to focus really big on.
Their O-line was ass
because we do have a decent receiving core. I mean, we don't have a bad one.
They got E.J. Williams from Clemson.
E.J. Williams. They've still got what's his face? Bro, this is really stupid right now.
Is Campers still around?
Cam Campers is coming back. Yeah, I couldn't think of his name.
Jack Tuttle's officially gone.
Jack Tuttle's gone, which I kind of hate. He played good when he came in.
So bad,
bro.
But the weird part,
bad.
But the weird part for me, he's coming to Michigan. The weird part.
First off,
he's horrible. Dude.
I'm calling you out right here. Most hypocritical motherfucker I've ever met in my life. He was like, Jack Tuttle's the worst quarterback in the world. He comes in as a sub and goes, holy shit, go Jack, go Jack.
Well, I'm going to root for who's on the field.
No. He was playing great until he got injured that game, too. And you were like, oh, my God, maybe we should just stick with Jack the rest of the season. And I was like, yeah, because he's decent.
I will say, Connor Bazelak was the worst
so
quarterback.
Bad. Thank God he's gone.
Connor Bazelak was easily the worst quarterback.
Where did he end up going?
Bazelak?
I don't even remember.
He transferred.
Yeah,
he hit into the transfer portal.
Bazelak transferred, too. I can't remember where he was.
No, okay.
I'll find
I think he would be a good QB if he was on a different offense. Let's see. Connor Bazelak. So let's see if he ended up going anywhere.
Bowling Green.
Yeah.
He transferred to Bowling Green. Okay. Have fun on the Mac.
Well, he'll probably do good there. Yeah. But yeah, so he was horrible for us. I'm sorry, but he was god awful.
He had one good drive the first game against Illinois.
Yeah, where he took us down and we beat Illinois, which is our only good win.
You know what? For that, and you know
it's the only win we can go. Hey, we beat a ranked team, guys.
You know what? And for that, good for
Bazelak. But yeah, no, he was not good. He was not the quarterback we needed. But if we focus on the O line and the D line, we could be a threat. Because sad thing is, our defense is going to be fucked. We lost Tywan Mullen, Fitzgerald. We lost our only good D lineman, which I cannot think of his fucking name right now.
It's fine. We literally just we got screwed. We got screwed all over. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see this. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still going. But I mean, even if we go 1-11, but it's still crazy. Honestly, I only want them to beat Purdue. I don't.
Honestly, if we go 1-11, I just need that one win to be.
I don't give a damn about any.
No. Actually, 2-10. We got to beat Ohio State. Like we got it. Okay.
That's their first game of the year. Is home against Ohio State. Oh God,
I forgot about. Yeah, it's at home versus Ohio State.
It is
so weird.
That's gonna be.
It is their first game of the year.
It's gonna be the most hyped game of the year.
And we're gonna get
and they're gonna be down 30 at the end of the first quarter.
But but we always play one good half. So knowing our luck, we're gonna be down like 35 at halftime. We're gonna come back. We're gonna pull it within a score, and then we're gonna do something stupid, and we're gonna lose the game. So yeah, I'm pumped about that. But yeah, I don't even care about losing to Michigan because I feel like Ohio State is the more likely one to just like look horrible, but then make the natty. Ohio State just has that where they always look really bad, and then they shock everybody by getting to the playoffs. And everybody goes, "Oh shit, they're gonna lose," and then they just
All right, let's
move on to NBA. NFL,
okay.
Not NBA.
So let's talk about Wild Card Weekend. I know it was a while ago, but we're gonna talk about Wild Card Weekend. First game, Big Cock Brock coming in for San Francisco, and former Iowa State quarterback Brock Purdy.
who, I mean,
He'd be doing
probably one of the 10 best quarterbacks in the league, is coming out here and balling on
Gino.
every single team. He took down...
No pun intended.
He took down the Seahawks 41-23, and San Francisco, my playoff Super Bowl pick when the playoffs started, I said San Francisco, Cincinnati, and that is still on the table.
It is still on the table for you.
So that was
it won't be for much longer.
Strong. I have been preaching to everyone throughout the longest time that Brandon Staley is the worst coach in the NFL, and he proved me right once again. Up 27-0. The Chargers were against the 9-8 Jaguars, who really shouldn't have been in the play. Okay, I mean they won their division. They should have been in the play.
Hang on, I do want to go back though. Is Geno Smith a legit quarterback? Should the Seahawks stick with him for 2 or 3 years? I think they should.
I think they should.
I don't think you draft a quarterback here. I think that you take your pick. You get either a really, really solid D-lineman.
They have the Jets picks for Jamal Adams. So
they also have the Broncos first.
Oh, yeah, they have that.
They have the 4th overall pick, or third overall pick. Yeah. So I think you take either a really good D-lineman, a really good linebacker, or you take a really good O-lineman, because you have... By the way, Kenneth Walker's a fucking beast. They could. Holy shit!
It would be hard to screw this pickup. But back to the
don't put it past them.
As long as they don't take a quarterback. Back to the Chargers. Oh my God, you guys in the
J-Herb
in the preseason.
How do you fuck that up?
In the preseason, I thought they were the most talented team in the NFL.
And in the preseason, I said they would go to the Super Bowl with their roster.
Here's the thing. Do you remember preseason when I said the Chargers are the most talented team? But they won't make the Super Bowl because they're the Chargers.
Well, no, okay. To be fair, they also lost half of their good players. Joey Bosa was out for half the season.
He played in this game when it mattered and then got thrown out.
Okay, but that's just like when Tennessee played last year. They were the number 1 seed. Derrick Henry had been out all year, came back for the playoffs game. Derrick Henry played like shit because he came off injury. But
still,
anyway,
though, you were up 27.
You also don't have J.C. Jackson. J.C. Jackson's been out all season.
It doesn't matter. You're up 27 points.
Derwin James was also playing through an injury. Jay Herb was getting absolutely destroyed on the O-line.
Clearly wasn't that much of a problem. They got up 27-0.
That was the offense. Their defense, you have to realize, Jacksonville hasn't been to a playoff game at all with Trevor Lawrence, so he was struggling.
I saw a stat that said that the last 6 AFC Championship games have had either the Chiefs or Jags.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's such a disrespectful stat. I'm like,
because it's funny. The Chiefs have been directly. They've been for 6 straight years.
No, but that was so embarrassing when they're up 27-0. I said out loud because. We were with a group of people, and my friend Alex Bond was the only person that picked the Jags. And I was like, hey, if any team...
Alex really doesn't... I mean, honestly, he should have been wrong, but...
The thing is, I said if there's any team that's blowing this lead, it's the Chargers.
Honestly, I disagreed. I said if it was any team that was blowing the lead, it was my team.
No, the Chargers have been chokers since they have become a team. And until they fire Brandon Staley, it's not going to change.
Can I point out, though?
He's easily the worst coach.
Not
in the
even
NFL.
anything to do with the game. Can we give a shout out to Trevor Lawrence for his class? Nobody but him could pull off a Waffle House dinner after a W. All right? Nobody. Nobody is going into a Waffle House like an absolute G.
And you know what? Props for Trevor Lawrence for not just being a little crybaby after throwing 4 picks and actually, leading the team back. But my God, the Chargers are the embarrassment in the NFL.
That was the funniest first half of football I've ever watched in my life.
No, my favorite was...
I was all against the Jags in that moment. I'm sorry.
Too. I hate the Jags. But,
I hate the Jags.
I think it's so funny. They took a picture of Brandon Staley at halftime. He's like... Then they took a picture after, and he's like... And they just have them side by side, and it has J Herb on top, and it has Trevor Lawrence on top of the ending one. And it's Herbert looking at the scoreboard like this at 27, and then Lawrence going... And I just busted out laughing. I was like, yo.
There's a video I saw on TikTok where some guy's like asleep on a couch, and this guy
he made a bet. They were up 27 when I was to sleep.
Yeah,
I
he
lost
asleep.
It. Yeah.
And he woke up, and he was just, his face is the funniest.
He was so
thing.
mad.
He put like $2,000 on Jags money line or something.
Yeah, it was so bad.
I can't remember if it was like before the game or if like he put down some money like at halftime or something like that. Be like, oh yeah, if the Jags win, whatever,
With this next game, I want to talk about because there are a couple other things going on behind the scenes with this. Bills escaped the Dolphins 34-31. I do have to say, though, that the Dolphins looked good. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Bills also looked kind of bad.
If they have Tua, they win that game.
No, they don't. I'm telling you right
not Tua not being able to walk. But
I'm telling you right now,
Tua,
the Dolphins take a quarterback in the draft if they can because I think they're moving away from Tua.
Why?
Why would they move away from Tua? Tua has been injured every single year he's played in the league. He also may not be able to continue to play in the league.
He'll be fine.
Bro literally says he'll be fine as he's now hit his head twice in a season, was knocked out for almost 3 hours. And no, he won't be fine. As of right now, they're saying that he may not be able to play another season. Like he may have just had a career-ending injury. So he may not come back.
Well, if he
either way,
they're not taking a quarterback.
I think they won't take it first round, but they may take like a Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, big cock Brock. But yeah, also behind the scenes, I don't know about you guys personally, I believe it. But DeMar Hamlin is dead, guys. I mean, it was they had a stunt double in the press box. No, for you guys saying that, you're idiots. Why in the world would Josh Allen even got on after and said, no, whoever's saying this, you need to shut up. He was literally in with us in the team. He was in the locker room with us. We all sat down. We did a prayer. He literally congratulated us all. Why would he be dead? No, he was like, that is him, because people saw this, but they were like, oh, that's DeMar's thing, but he's hiding his face in every camera. That's because he doesn't want you guys in his face.
Because the camera was covered with snow.
Not only that, but he also has got his family with him. He doesn't want you guys sitting there just filming him nonstop. Leave him alone.
Just went into cardiac arrest, and had, I guarantee, a concussion after falling on his head.
And I'm willing to bet they probably had to do surgery.
Yeah.
So he probably has cuts and stuff on his face that he doesn't want people to just close up on. So yeah, no, he's not dead, you idiots. I'm sorry. And I'm calling everyone that believes this an idiot. You can DM me with all your complaints. I don't give a absolute shit. But no, so Bills didn't look great in that game, and I'm kind of sad because my prediction was 49ers Bills, which they did end up losing, as we'll get to in a minute. But I honestly think that had
the reason
had the Bills. I think the O-line suffered a couple injuries, obviously, but also had the Bills had Von Miller, I'm telling you right now, that team would have won.
The thing about the reason I picked the Bengals over the Bills is I'm not going to ever pick the Bills to win the Super Bowl because they're the Bills, and they're always going to sell it in the playoffs. Are
you telling me right now, had Von Miller been playing, the Bengals would have won?
Von Miller, no. They won by 17. Von Miller's not going to make up 17 points.
He's actually the reason they won the Super Bowl last year, buddy.
The Rams?
Yes, he was on the Rams last year, and he literally...
He wasn't the reason they won the Super Bowl.
Are you kidding me? He's the one that caused Joe Burrow to literally almost throw a pick on the goal line when he fumbled the ball. That was Von Miller. Von Miller also hurried him out of the pocket 4 times and sacked him twice.
That's not
Aaron Donald had the final
play.
They
won the game.
The defense? Yes, it is.
No, one player doesn't win you a game. The Bengals were winning that game no matter who played.
They lost that game.
I'm talking about the Bengals and the Bills.
I don't think so. I think if you had the team complete...
Ifs and buts were
also,
candy
they just
and
went
nuts,
through a tragedy.
we'd all live a happy Christmas.
Also, they went through a tragedy. I'm just telling you, you have to take into account everything that went on with that organization. Everybody's like, nah, the Bills just suck. No, they don't. They're better all around than the fucking Bengals are. They have a better complete team.
Didn't show in the game. And
I'm telling you right now, I'm going to laugh when the Chiefs demolish them at home and with Patrick Mahomes' ankle, and I'm just going to shove it in every Bengal's face. Personally, I love Joe Burrow. Joe Cool is an absolute G.
The Bengals,
but I'm gonna laugh my ass off when they walk out of Arrowhead crying.
The Bengals are on that TCU energy though, because they're like, "Oh, we're selling AFC Championship tickets in Atlanta for Bills and Chiefs," and then they're like, "Oh, fuck you, we're gonna go play in Arrowhead and win." Like, they're on that TCU disrespected energy. They're gonna win.
And yet we saw how TCU won.
Hit a little too close to home, man. Come on.
No, but we also saw how TCU did it. The Bengals are like, oh yeah, we're defending champions. We're gonna go again, and now Chiefs are like, no.
I'm telling you right now, the Bengals are.
Also, look, I will say this: Arrowhead is the hardest stadium to play in the NFL. I'm telling you right now, it's hard enough to go in and win once, let alone go in and win back-to-back years. And I don't think that they're gonna be able to pull it off. They might. No, I'm not. There's one team I'm not putting it past. It is indeed the Bengals, but I'm just saying. And either way, it doesn't matter. They're not winning. If they play San Francisco, even with a rookie QB, they're getting absolutely
I think
demolished.
San Francisco is looking like the best team, but I mean, I don't know, San Francisco Eagles.
Hang on, I gotta say this. I know I'm gonna get some hate from Cowboys fans, but can we point out that Brock Purdy has tied the amount of wins in his rookie season that Dak has in his entire playoff career?
Don't say it.
Oh my God, I love that. God, I love it. Oh my God, yes, I had to. I've been waiting to say it on air. Let's just put it out. Everybody's like, Dak Prescott's so great. Bro.
God, I hate
Mr. Irrelevant just won the same amount of playoff games and his rookie.
Much,
I did too. Dak can kiss my ass.
I fucking hate the Cowboys.
I did too. And you don't even understand why you're just a Cowboys hater. I'm a real Cowboys hater.
I really hate him.
How have we gone this whole?
I've heard of fake fans before. I've never heard of a fake hater before.
Oh my god! No, yeah. Okay, there's Cowboys haters, and then there's Cowboy haters.
And then there's Giants fans.
No. Then there's NFC fans. If you're an Eagles fan, a Cowboys fan, or a Commanders fan, you know why we really hate the Cowboys.
Eddie, how have you not talked about the New York
I'm going to. We're getting there.
Football Giants?
That's why I led with the whole Dak Prescott thing, because I got to get my hate out of the way.
The one team I might hate more than the Cowboys is the damn Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, because you're a Bears fan.
No, the Chargers, the Bills, and the Vikings are always going to choke in the playoffs. All of them.
I said that.
You will never win a Super Bowl.
Okay, but I literally said that.
A bunch of chokers.
I literally told everybody this. Going into this game, I had people texting me, you're out of your mind. They got Kirk Cousins. They've got Justin Jefferson. They've got Danielle Hunter on the other side. You're going to get sacked every play. I said, hey, buddy, we got Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones is coming out now. We're good. Danny Dimes, he wasn't really throwing dimes. He was more like running dimes. But you know what? I think the man is like he's gonna be. They're gonna use him a lot more like Lamar now, where they run so much read option.
Dimes is a lot better than Kirk Thuggins.
Overall, I disagree. Kirk Cousins, I think he just always chokes in the playoffs. I don't know why, but like during regular season, he is one of the best QBs. He's super accurate. He's got a great arm, and he's got really good vision most of the time. Like nobody else is making the throw he made to Justin Jefferson against the Bills. Like that throw. I mean, obviously there are other quarterbacks. I think Josh Allen could have done it, but like things like that was a great throw. Put it right where Justin Jefferson could go up and grab it.
If you don't want to talk about the Eagles game,
no, we will.
Don't have to.
We're going to talk about it. But I do want to dive in.
I picked the Giants to win that.
I do want to point out that the second we went up 14-7 in the first quarter, I said we're winning this game, and I had people texting me, no, you guys are going to choke this. I said no, we're not. I said I know exactly how we play. We're feeding off you guys beat us in the regular season. Now we're going to come in and kick your ass the second time. And sure, because that was why that's why the Vikings lost. We lost to them at home, or we lost to them in Minnesota during the regular season. The fans are like, oh, number 2, here comes the second loss. And I was like, yeah, y'all are fucked now. Brian Dable ain't taking this shit. By the way, best head coach I've ever seen since Tom Coughlin.
Oh, he's a terrific coach.
And by the way, he just won Coach of the Year.
He should win. Oh, did he
absolute obvious choice. I'm willing to bet. I could totally see Saquon winning Comeback Player of the Year.
Geno Smith should win Comeback Player of the Year.
No, but he wasn't ever injured.
Yeah, but he was on the bench and not playing.
Correct, but Saquon came back from an injury. He hasn't played a full season in 2 years.
I think Geno Smith should win Comeback Player of the Year.
I don't, because we got further in the playoffs.
Yeah, but Geno Smith also took a team that wasn't supposed to win like 5 games and made the playoffs.
So did Saquon. Oh, we weren't even supposed to finish anywhere atop. We were supposed to finish 5 wins at the bottom of our division.
Fair enough.
But anyway, we also, by the way, what was it? I was really excited. I really thought we could upset the Eagles just because the last time we had 9 wins and 7 losses. We won a Super Bowl.
I actually picked the Giants over the Eagles.
I did too.
In this game.
And
I don't know why I did that.
My oldest brother has some friends that are from Philly, and I was talking so much shit to him. I was like, yeah, you guys are about to fly away.
My friend,
and he was like, all right, get back to me at the end of the first quarter. Fucking down, what was it, 17-0? And I was like
28-0 at half, but the Eagles aren't the Chargers.
No, hang on. I want to see. I can't remember what the score. Hang on. I know
38-7.
38-7. No, it was 14-0 at the end of the first. And he literally just I got in an Xbox party chat, and he goes, well, you're awfully quiet, buddy. And I said, can we just shut up? Can we just shut up? And he was like, no.
They got a little bit of that.
He was like, you wouldn't shut up yesterday about it. How about we keep going?
They got a little bit of that TCU treatment.
Yeah. So anyway, that was, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let's go to the other wildcard game. Bengals beat the Ravens. I'm saying that's a lucky win. Y'all almost lost to Tyler Huntley. If you wouldn't have fumbled that, I think the Ravens would have won.
Yeah, but they won the next round against the Bills, so who cares?
Okay, but that doesn't matter. We're not focused there yet.
Rivalry games in the playoffs are never going to be a blowout, no matter how you... Actually, the Eagles blew out the Giants, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
But that's different. We're talking I'm talking wild card games. I don't think I've ever seen a rivalry wild card game that's been a blowout.
Oh yeah.
Even the 49ers and the Seahawks wasn't a blowout until the very end. It was a
close game.
It was 17-16 and a half. Then the Niners went up, and then it kind of went away. But the Dolphins Bills was a 3-point game.
On that play where Tyler Huntley fumbled in the 1 yard line, the Ravens went from a 69% chance to win to a 15% chance to win.
Yeah, it's crazy.
On one play.
Yeah. No, but okay, so we're going to go to the next one. All right, now, I'm going to continue my roasting Cowboys cake. Here we go. First thing we got to go through. Number 1, Dak Prescott played 3 less games in the regular season, and still tied for the most interceptions in the season. So yeah, no. For all you haters out there that keep telling me that Dak Prescott is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, no, let's go there. First off, tied the most interception in the league, 3 games he didn't play. Number 2, he's Dak Prescott. What else do you need? But number 2, he also, as we mentioned, has won just as many playoff games as Brock Purdy, which I think you need to reconsider your franchise here. Also, your owner is Jerry Jones, so that's another thing. But number 4, your kicker. I don't even know where we're going with that. When he missed that 4th extra, it's sad when Peyton Manning, who isn't even a freaking kicker, goes, no way, and stands up on his Manning cast and flips out.
The worst one was when he missed the first one against the 49ers. That was the worst one. Because they're like, oh my God, he's not over it.
Somebody asked, is he the worst kicker in the NFL now ever? And everybody's like, well, what about Cody Parkey? And then somebody put up the video. I even sent it to him and he goes, bro, I've seen this 100 times. It goes, it was an interview by the Eagles D lineman. Who was? I can't remember exactly which one.
He actually tipped the ball with my finger.
But I watched it again and he actually did. He tipped the ball and that's what caused it to do that weird spin. And somebody goes, well, no, but Cody Parkey lost the game for him. And I said, I agree, but like, at least it was a good defensive play and not you missed 4 extra points. And it's ironic that you lose next game by 4 points. Or did they lose by 4? They lost by 5. No, they lost by 7. I can't do math. Holy shit.
The worst part about that whole Cody Parkey thing is how he went on like Good Morning America. Like, people are being so mean to me.
Well, no, but you know what somebody said? You know what somebody did say? I watched this podcast.
Field goal.
By the way, if you guys like a good podcast, Laughing on the Sidelines is one of my favorite podcasts. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It's a comedy podcast, but they do sports too. They talk about it. I know I've talked to you about it. It is literally the funniest fucking podcast I've ever seen. They do it. They're from Wichita, but they're comedians, but they do sports and stuff. So they talk about it. And one of them was like, honestly, I think I hated the Cowboys as much as the next person. I said, incorrect, you're a Chiefs fan, so you don't hate them as much as I do. But I said, and he was like, yeah, but honestly, I kind of wanted the Cowboys to score in the last minute drive because like I wanted to see the look on McCarthy's face as he had to decide, do we kick the extra point or go for 2? And I was like, honestly, that would have been hilarious just to see McCarthy go, I'm either going to get fired or I'm going to get fired because we're going to lose. Like, and he was like,
gone for 2.
No, that's what somebody said. Like,
I would have gone for 2.
But if you go for 2 and miss it, you get criticized. Yeah, if you just try to make the extra point and go into OT, then you're fine, right? Because if you lose an OT, at least you can say, oh, we tried. We tied it. Imagine. That would have been hilarious.
All right, let's talk conference title games because I think both of these games are coin flips, really.
I don't.
Okay.
The Eagles are too high on their horse right now, as much as I hate to. I mean, they are. Jalen Hurts doesn't have really any major playoff experience. He has only played 1 game. At least Brock Purdy had the ability to go through and play 3.
I think San Francisco will win just because I don't think Philly's offense is going to be able to get going again. Because
that defense is the best in the league.
That's the way Philly is winning games. Is just they're getting out on teams early and then just demoralizing them from the start.
Well, Jalen Hurts has never had to play anybody as good as Nick Bosa, and then you've also got Fred Warner, who's going to fucking shoot through the middle gap, and now you've also got to deal with some of the best DBs in the game, in my opinion. I mean, Tre'Davious Ward. But, I mean,
I think this is a really low-scoring game.
I disagree. Because who is Philly going to really... I mean, Darius Slay is fantastic. I love him. C.J. Gardner-Johnson is a fantastic player. But you're also putting him up against, Debo, who's going to come off the end and just torch everybody. You're putting him up against Brandon Ayuk, who's one of my favorite, most underrated players. And you've got the man himself, George Kittle, bro. By the way, George Kittle is the funniest fucking person in the NFL. I don't care what anybody says. This is what he did after the game. Are you going to go celebrate? And just fucking runs off. I'm like, what the hell?
Because he's giddy with excitement.
I know, but it's so funny. Even Brock Purdy busted out laughing on camera, bro. He couldn't even control it.
All right, so I'm going to go.
I'm saying 49ers Chiefs for a Super Bowl.
Okay,
a rematch.
I'm going to go San Francisco 17, Eagles 16.
Do you think the Cowboys kicker is coming?
No, I'm going to say Philly is just going to be – they're going to get to the red zone. They won't be able to score. They'll just kick a bunch of field goals.
Fair.
And field goals aren't going to win the game. Bengals, Chiefs. I know you're taking the Chiefs easily.
I am.
The line
I'm not easily, but I think they're winning.
The line is 1. Chiefs by
Correct.
1. It's basically a coin flip.
Well, so was the 49ers. I think the 49ers are by 2, right? They were. They were -2.
Philly is favored 2.5.
Oh, they changed it. I wonder if there's an. Oh no, you know why they are now? They just came out this morning. Debo is actually not participating in practice because he's like he has some injuries he's going through. And so is no, what's his face? Nick Bosa.
They'll still win.
They're both. I think it was Debo was having leg soreness, and Nick Bosa was having like hamstring issues, and so they're saying, yeah. I don't know if like he was having like an issue with a muscle or something, but like he was like having lots of trouble.
We were playing basketball at the rec, and this dude had a little cramp, and then made it seem like he was like dying. He laid on the ground. He laid on the ground for like 10 minutes and was perfectly fine.
Yeah, no, this dude literally he had a girl on his team go get him a basketball to prop his leg up and had another guy on his team start massaging his calf. And I was like, yo, what the hell?
He was literally fine.
And I literally said, get up and walk it off. And the man was like, why? And I was like, because when you have a cramp, you're not supposed to sit there and let it just sit. You're supposed to get up and try to move it. He was like, no. I was like, yeah.
He sat there for like 10 minutes and then just
got up and started balling.
And then just kept playing.
He was like, just as
dude, at least go to the side if you're gonna do that, not in the middle of the whole gym. Oh, my leg! Ah, he looked like a soccer player.
Okay. Hey, I'm just gonna point out. I will say this: at least we suffer real injuries. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't remember the last time I saw a baseball player, just sitting there like, oh yeah, oh fuck, oh my leg. Because you know why? Because like, when are you ever gonna suffer an injury?
I don't know.
Except when you get hit with the baseball and you got some bruises.
95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, but you're gonna get a big ass bruise.
Well, you never heard of a baseball drive to the face.
I don't remember the last time that happened. Would that happen this season?
Yeah, it happened.
Okay, but what did it do? It left him a big ass bruise.
He probably didn't even the rest of his season.
Giancarlo Stanton had like a whole thing of stitches like up his face because he got hit in like the side of the head by like a.
But my point is you guys are like, oh yeah, he got hit in the leg.
Was out for an entire season after getting beamed in the face.
Also, understand. I'm sorry, y'all have not played soccer. You don't understand how much it hurts to get fucking cleated in the fucking leg.
I've been cleated in the leg during baseball.
No, that's not the same.
I slid headfirst into home. My friend who was catching jumped and landed on my hand with metal cleats.
That's not the same, buddy.
You see the scar on my hand?
My whole hand open.
Do you realize how many people actually break their ankles during slide tackles? A lot. It hurts. Like I've never broke my ankle, but I've sprained my ankle.
The thing is like you're getting very you're
physical all the time though.
No, yeah, like, and I'm not denying that whatsoever. Like neither of us have denied. Like neither of us said like, oh no, soccer players don't suffer terrible injuries.
No, but he seems to think that every time a soccer player goes down, they're faking it, which is not
they do all the time. I'm sorry, they do all the time. Don't,
bro. My friend.
Everybody in every sport does it.
There are. No. I understand that, and there definitely are players that will fake it.
My friend Diego is trying.
It still hurts a little.
My friend Diego is like, it's part of the game, man. They have to do that. They have to flop to waste time.
Bro, I'm tired. I also don't want to hear this bullshit because football players are literally like, oh, we don't fake injuries. Bullshit.
Oh, yeah, they do. They do.
Like, you guys are so much worse than any sport that they're like, Chris, you heard, by the way, Cameron Jordan actually got his fine removed because he actually was hurt.
Oh, did he? Okay.
He actually had, like, they showed a clip where he was having a muscle spasm and they actually took him to the sideline and they were trying to fix it. And, like, he got fined $500,000. Because that was the fine for stopping play because they thought he faked it.
Real? That's the fine. There's no way.
He appealed and they took it all back. He actually gained money, by the way. The NFL ended up paying him I think it was like $12,000 or something. I remember there was a huge
scandal with
versus a $500,000 fine.
No, he got that back.
I remember
and then they gave him an extra $12,000.
There was a big scandal with the Jets a while back. I forget what player it was for.
Well, no, it was probably the person that Sanchez ran up his anus. That guy probably was hurting a little bit, you know.
No, but he suffered an injury, right? And didn't practice. And the Jets were fining him for every practice that he missed. And he's like, I can't move my leg or whatever. And so then they kept fining him for all these practices that he missed. And then he went to a doctor. And the doctor's like, yeah, your leg is fucked. Like, you're not supposed to be practicing. And the guy came back and was like, yo, I have receipts that, and they're like, oh, well, you didn't go to our team doctor, so we're gonna fine you again for getting a second opinion.
You know, that's wrong. That's wrong, but that's actually not like illegal. If it's in his contract that
he has to go to the team doctor or he has to get proof from this person, they have every right to find him.
But the team doctor was like, oh, he's fine. And then this other doctor's like, yeah.
Well, then that sounds like a team doctor problem, and that sounds like they should be finding and firing the doctor.
All right, Bengals Chiefs. I am taking the Bengals.
I'm only taking the Chiefs just because I feel like you're gonna see the Bengals send everybody, right? And I think that the Chiefs are going to drop so many plays to try to make it so that when they do, Patrick Mahomes doesn't have to run.
Rosie play?
No, yeah, that too, which is so fucking hilarious. But I do have to agree with the Broncos lineman. It was so disrespectful. I mean, it really was. Like, there was no rest.
It was not necessary. I loved that.
It was hilarious, but it wasn't necessary. It was
Stop it.
It wasn't necessary.
You don't want to get disrespected. Don't let them score.
No. It wasn't the play itself. It was doing the ring around the Rosie before the play.
That was so funny, though.
It was disrespectful.
Give some fun. Let him have fun.
No,
come on.
It's sportsmanship. That's why no, I'm not going to go there. You know where I was going with that. I don't want to hear that because I'm telling you right now, if in baseball, there's some teams started doing the videos on TikTok where they're fucking dancing. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody's dancing and then they come out and throw it. Willing to bet they did that against the Cubs. You'd go, what the fuck, ref? Can we not get a thing here?
I hate it when people do that, when they hit people after they just hit a home run in bat flip. Like, you're just putting them on base again. Like, okay.
No, not that. I'm talking about they're doing all the dancing shit and then they throw it and your team strikes out on it. Like, oh, how is that not illegal? They can sit there and dance all over the field.
I remember I had to ump a game and the team that what's it called? The team that I umped against thought I screwed them over, right?
Yeah.
And so then I had to play that team and they hit me on purpose and I just laughed and walked to first. I was like, okay, I'll take my free base, bud, you stupid bozo.
I will say, yeah, that's the dumbest thing to do in baseball, and like I would argue in any sport. Like, it's just so reckless, disrespectful, and dangerous to intentionally throw at a guy's head because they did a little shimmy on their way to first or something. Like, it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
It is dumb, but I will also say this: I would rather get hit by a baseball at 95 miles an hour than when I was younger in one soccer game, I got hit in the face by somebody kicking a soccer ball, bloodied nose. The next play, I got hit in the side of the face with a soccer ball. And then I also got kicked. The ball got kicked from like really close range, really hard into my nuts.
Is that like Yale violent? I was like, oh, and he's hit again. Oh, and he's hit again.
No, you're talking about
Sterling video.
Sterling. Yeah. It's like that. That shit hurts, right? By the way, there's a reason they use soccer and not baseball. Anyway, my point is,
to be taking Sterling out.
Oh my God, it's Scott Sterling.
They're putting him in a chair right now.
I may or may not. I kind of want to. I kind of want to.
Except where Sterling is sitting.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like they brought him a chair. He's crawling away now. The goal is open. They just got to kick it anywhere.
He's begging the coach to take him out.
Yeah. I kind of want to clip this and like put it right in between this and our next topic now, just the video. But I probably would get like taken down. I don't know how that's gonna work. I kind of want to though now. I think we should. I'm gonna attempt it.
The one I was talking about was there was like a volley.
Yeah, there's a volleyball one too. Yeah, that's not the best one.
That was the one I was.
By far, the best one is the soccer one.
I forgot about the soccer one. That was funnier.
Looks like he's curled up in a ball at the edge. Anywhere but at him. Turns his. Oh my God. He turns his face and gets beamed. It's the best meme. But yeah. So anyway, so his is 49ers, Eagles, mine, or 49ers and Bengals, mine's Chiefs, 49ers. I think we're getting a rematch of Super Bowl from 3 years ago.
No, we're getting a rematch from the 80s.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, so I think we can see this turning out to be pretty good. All right, let's see. We got what, half an hour?
It's college basketball time.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go on to college basketball. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about
if we have time
IU.
for NBA, we can just talk basics.
We gotta talk about IU first. So
I'm talking women's more than anything. I'm sorry, men's. There's nothing to talk about. Jackson even agrees. Men's is so bad right now. I'm sorry.
Okay.
They won on 4 in a row to shitty teams. They almost lost to Minnesota.
Like it's not that they're not interesting. It's just that they're not as interesting.
They're not
as
interesting as women's.
We
have one loss. We just beat the number 2. We literally could beat South Carolina. I feel like we could. I'm not even joking. It's the one time they'll really feel confident.
The women's team is fantastic right now.
They're good.
They're so good.
I don't think they can beat South Carolina. South Carolina is just too good.
Then why are we talking about the men's? Because I don't think they could beat like anybody right now.
Okay. They've won 4 games in a row.
Against shitty. We've won way more than that.
Against Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan State.
By the way,
those are terrible teams.
Wisconsin has won 6 games all year.
Eddie, they were ranked when IU
at the
beat
very
them.
beginning of the year. Buddy,
Eddie, they're 12-7 because they've kind of lost a few games now. But
okay, so
we've just been playing a bunch of IUs.
Okay. I was looking at the Wisconsin women's team. But either way, so they have the same record as us. So yeah, we beat them.
Talk about the women's team, then we'll talk about the men's team.
No, we'll go through men's team first, and then we'll because there's not much to talk about. So go ahead. Let's go. We'll go through them, and there's really nothing. What are we going to talk about except for the fact that they're starting to look decent?
Well, they had probably the worst 3-game stretch I've ever seen. I was actually at the Iowa game on the road because my grandma lives in northern Illinois. And my mom's like, we're pretty close to Iowa. We should, like, jokingly, we should go to the game. And then I found, like, $2 tickets on StubHub, and then we were at the game. They started that game so well, and then just threw it at the end. It was just the worst collapse I've ever seen. It was so annoying. And then they lost to Northwestern and Penn State, and everyone's like, oh, okay, they're done. They're not even going to finish top 10 in the Big Ten. And then they figured out how to play. And I have been saying for the longest time, Race Thompson should not have been starting, and they are playing better with him not playing. And I hate to be that guy, but Jordan Geronimo has really stepped it up. I think he's been... Okay, Trace is really taking over. He's starting to play a lot better.
Yeah, by the way, all you haters out there, Trace Jackson Davis is Zach Edey's daddy, so you can kiss our asses.
I mean, they got to play each other first, but...
No,
sure.
I don't. When you have a fucking man on Purdue who's almost 7 foot tall and he's got less rebounds than Trace Jackson Davis, also has less points and assists per game, you can kiss my ass.
But,
I'm sorry.
So they beat... The Wisconsin game was really the game changer, and then they went out and they continued it. They had problems on the road. They smashed Illinois on the road. I will say this. I was pretty upset with IU fans that were like, Illinois is not a rival. We're too good to call Illinois a rival.
They're really not an overall rival. We
Bro,
have 3 rivals.
I hate it when fan bases do that. When they're like, oh, they're not our rival. We're too good for them to be our rival. How ignorant are you? Shut up. They border us.
What do you consider a rival,
though?
Like
that.
A team you don't.
Purdue. Okay, IU's rivals are Purdue, Illinois, Kentucky, and Michigan.
No. Okay, I'm talking about Purdue. No. First off, I'm talking about rivals in general. I'm not talking about per sport. Overall, our rivals are Ohio State, Michigan, and Purdue. Those are our rivals.
But I hate it when people are like,
you don't have 7 rivals.
They're not our rival.
But they're really not.
Yeah, they are.
Even in basketball,
they literally border us.
They're 4.5. They're a 5-hour drive.
That. Stop being like that. I hate it when people do that.
Okay, but it makes sense. If they said Kentucky wasn't our rival in basketball, then okay.
Maryland,
they're like 2 hours from
Maryland had a really big rivalry with Duke back in the day because
they're Duke. Everybody hates
Redick,
Duke.
I think it was JJ Redick had like a lot of beef with Maryland, and Maryland like eviscerated him when they went. And then Duke had a chant, was like, not our rival. It's like if you have a chant to say that they're not your rival, they're your rival.
No, they're not.
Yes.
That makes no sense.
I hate it when people
Bro, I'm telling you right now,
that.
this is just about as bad as your Jimmy G take. Like, you can't say every team you play is a rival because then there are no rivals.
Okay, I didn't, like, Rutgers isn't a rival. Like, Maryland isn't a rival. But, like, they're the state next door. It's a rivalry game.
No, that's not how that works. Are you saying that... No, because if that's the case, then you're saying every team in Ohio is our rival, every team in Illinois is our rival, and every team in Kentucky.
Not every team. The ones in our conference that we play all the time, like, they're not rivals with Illinois State.
So you're telling us our rival in football is Illinois?
Sure.
No, that makes no sense. You have like 2, maybe 3 main rivals per sport.
I didn't say they're one of their main rivals, but like, oh, the game doesn't matter.
No,
to IU,
you don't have that many.
No,
you don't have that many rivals. Then it makes having a rival no point.
Okay. Anyway, they beat Illinois, and then they...
Yeah, he knows he's wrong now. He's done. He's moving on.
And then they blew out... Well, because I don't want to argue anymore. Because then they blew out Michigan State. I was at that game, and that was one of the best games I saw IU play all year. It was close in the first half. Michigan State actually had a lead, but IU didn't shy away. They completely played great down the stretch. Joey Hauser got completely dunked on by Trace. The place went nuts when that happened. It was crazy when that happened. And then they played Minnesota, and you know what? They had a struggle game against Minnesota. But the thing is good teams will find a way to win the game that they're struggling, and bad teams will find a way to lose. The fact that they didn't play well, you're gonna have an off shooting night sometimes, but the fact that they found a way to win while not playing their best basketball
You mean you found a way to beat Minnesota's one guy? That is pretty impressive.
The thing is though, is they're still IU's still without Xavier Johnson.
Okay, but that good teams learn how to play with the stuff they're dealt.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
But they've not. They won against some shitty opponents. You just acknowledge the fact. Minnesota had one guy that was scoring pretty much all of their points. He scored more than any player in Indiana.
Okay, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Michigan.
Illinois is not that great this year. They're not.
Illinois, okay. I don't think you can name 30 teams that are better than Illinois, Wisconsin, and Michigan State.
Pretty much any team in the top 25. Yeah, just did it. There you go.
I said done. 30.
Okay, any teams in the top 30. Because none of them are.
I don't think you can name 30 teams better than Illinois, Wisconsin, and Michigan. Or not Michigan. Illinois, Wisconsin, and Michigan State.
You realize that Michigan State, at least they were last week, they were ranked. But either way, my point being is that you're
I don't understand why, they beat some shit. They're mopping some of the best teams in the Big Ten.
What teams? They literally haven't played some of the best teams in the Big Ten.
What?
They still haven't played Purdue, who, don't get me wrong, they're not fucking amazing, but they're playing some shitty teams.
They'll beat Purdue.
Also, contrary to people, by the way, Michigan State has the same amount of wins as us, so you can't say they're terrible and then go in and say we're good.
I didn't say they were. I said they're a good team.
But either way, how much did we beat them by?
Michigan State is also by 13.
Okay, we beat them by 13. That's a good win.
Michigan State is also dealing with injuries just like IU is.
Exactly,
like
and we were at home.
So.
Also, we got absolutely fucked by Penn State. So I don't want to hear that.
Because they were
still learning. We also lost to Northwestern.
They were still learning. Okay, I will give you a fun stat.
Lost to Iowa on the road.
From I think it was like January. I think it was from like December 20th to January 12th. IU was by efficiency ratings the 97th best team in the country. Over their last 4 games, they have been the 3rd best team in the country by efficiency in that span. They're playing like the 3rd best team in the country.
Okay, right now. But also,
right now is all that matters.
It's not that 3 games over a whole season matters about nothing. No, they've been on a 3 game.
They've won 4 games in a row.
But you're telling they've won 4 games in a row.
Minnesota,
correct.
They didn't play that.
Minnesota, they didn't play that good. So they had a 3-game stretch.
It's hard to win on the road anywhere.
But I'm telling you right now, there are certain
They're finally
teams,
figuring out how to play with people hurt.
And then they're going to come, then Xavier Johnson's going to come back, and then they're going to try to adjust again, and they're going to fucking fail. I'm telling you right now, out of all the games we have left, we're losing. As much as I hate to admit it, especially considering how we've been, if Xavier Johnson comes back in time, they're going to be trying to focus.
So you don't want Xavier Johnson to come back?
What is that noise?
Are you getting a call?
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I heard somebody. Okay.
I was gonna call.
You should have answered it on air. Just been like, "Hey, hello, mom. What are you doing?" Anyway, no.
First caller.
Yeah, maybe it was.
First caller.
Johnny, was it Johnny?
No, it was spam risk.
Oh, we should have answered it. That would have been great. Hello, we'd like to renew your car insurance. Yes, please.
Tell me more.
So anyway, but no, I think that of our next, I'd say 5 games, we win 2 of them. We beat Ohio State, and we're gonna beat Rutgers at home.
What the fuck are you? Okay, they're beating Ohio State. They're beating Maryland.
I think we lose to Maryland on the road. Maryland looks good right now.
They could lose. Okay, they might lose to Maryland.
Purdue is sadly going to come in and hand us a loss.
They're a better team.
The Maryland game at home got pretty close for a little bit, and then in the end we pulled away there.
I think if we had everybody, we're a better team than Purdue.
They haven't played Maryland yet this year.
They haven't, and Maryland almost beat 3 teams that are like top 3.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the women's game.
Yeah. That aren't we all? Anyway.
So Ohio State's a win. Maryland is, I would say, a win. They're not losing to Purdue, at least at home. I'm sorry.
You're giving them too much credit right now. They're not a complete team.
For playing like the 3rd best team in the country based on
over 4 games. They've played.
That's all that matters.
19
is how you're playing now.
Okay, but
gives a fuck about that they blew a 21-point lead to Iowa.
I do personally, but
that's
also
not what they're doing now. Right now, they're not blowing 21-point leads.
They have 2 games to go back to exactly how they were before that game.
They'll be fine.
They're gonna beat Rutgers at home. They're gonna lose to Michigan on the road.
I hate Rutgers. That's just a personal thing for me. I hate Rutgers.
Honestly, I like Rutgers right now because they're the only team that has beat Purdue besides
they're just
they're the only
cocky
team that's beat Purdue.
And arrogant, and I hate.
But honestly, we'll beat Northwestern. I think the second time around, we'll beat Illinois at home. Then we'll beat Michigan State. I think we're definitely going to lose to Purdue when they're at home. And then
I think they'll split with.
We'll beat Iowa, and then we'll beat Michigan at home. So we'll win quite a few more games. We'll definitely make March Madness, but we'll get probably fucked by St. Mary's. So anyway, I'm just telling you, the men's team right now.
I currently have them as
a
5 seed.
In order to do that, they would have to be like what, top 30 team?
Well, I have my own poll. I'll give you my. How about this? I'll go through my own AP poll. Here is my own.
How about
AP
we
poll.
save that when we get closer? Because we gotta wrap it up, and then we'll go through the other stuff. By the way, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the women's. Number 1 in Big Ten. Hell of a game last night. Producer Jackson was there. Quincy decided to go bowling instead. He tried to get me to come too.
I didn't. I just said, hey.
No. Then Johnny texted me and goes, bro, you definitely need to come bowling. I was like, nah, too late. I'm already here. But no, by far, if I had to tell you one team that is more exciting to watch than anything, it's the women's team. We had a record attendance last night. It was 10,000 what? 10,555 or something?
It was definitely over 10,000.
By the way, the whole top row wasn't even filled. It was louder than any men's game I've ever been to. That's why I hate when people are like, why do you go to women's games? Well, A, they're free if you're a student, which is sad because I would pay to see that. I'm not even joking. I would pay to see everything I've seen so far this season.
They're really good.
The energy is better than any sports team I've ever been to. Soccer, football, any of it. The atmosphere in there is way more hype. 3, it got so loud in there. I was video recording. I couldn't hear for a second. It literally, everybody around me screamed. It's just all around. I would rather go to every women's game for the rest of my time here at IU than go to another men's game.
I told Eddie this before Quincy got here, but yeah, I took a couple friends last night. A couple of them diehard, like sports fans, basketball fans, and stuff like that. A couple of them were not like huge sports fans at all. Even they were getting hyped last night at the game. Like that during that small break in the third quarter where there was really good defense. We got like 3 steals in a row.
Sydney Parrish. I know exactly what player you're talking about. Sydney. I was waiting for it.
Yeah, no. Sydney Parrish with a huge, like she's driving down the court, steals the ball, and we all like collectively held up.
Yeah, we were like,
is she gonna dunk it? Holy shit.
And I mean, the women don't do that. I think mainly just because they would probably get a bunch of shit for no reason. Like, I really do. I think they would be like, oh, you shouldn't have dunked. That's disrespectful. And I'd be like, what? Why are we saying that's disrespectful?
I will say 27-6 in the third quarter is crazy.
I will say that the women's team is the best sports team we have at IU right now. I don't care what anybody says.
We were down by like 6 or something going into the second half.
Yeah, so we came. By the way, we went on a 7-0 run at the end of the first quarter. We were down 16-10. We went up 17-16. Then we ended up going down. I think it was 6 points at half or 5. I don't remember which. Then in the third quarter, we came out and we started playing really good. And then the defense went fucking ballistic. And Ohio State was missing everything. We ended up having
27-6 lead.
Garzon had 2 back-to-back 3-pointers, and that was the second 3-pointer is when I could no longer hear.
Oh yeah,
they screamed so loud. I didn't realize 10,000 people could make that much noise.
Yeah,
like,
that was crazy. That was.
It was.
I didn't know which one was the bigger deal. Like, all the fast breaks and the steals and things like that in the third quarter, or those 2 back-to-back threes. Probably the threes, like just because everyone was going ballistic when that happened.
And if it tells you anything at all, we have such a good starting 5 that we don't even play anybody else. Like, seriously, most people didn't realize this. 8 people played in that game. Of those 8, Lily only played 5 minutes. Lexi, who is our Lexus is who is our injured. She has the brace on. She's actually a phenomenal athlete, but she still can't play full. She played for 1 minute. Our starters, Mackenzie Holmes, by the way, shout out to my friend Francisco, bro. He had a sign that said McKinsley Holmes, and she actually took a picture with him after the game with the poster, so it was super cool.
I saw somebody with "We are the Indiana Hoosiers."
Yeah, and then that was so funny. We literally after the end, I know you probably didn't hear it because you said you were up at the top, but we all started going "Stick to football," and we all started clapping. The fans were pissed at us, like the Ohio State fans as they were walking out. Oh my God, we were making them so mad. But
there was an overrated chant that started.
Yeah, we started that. Yeah, we literally started going, "You're overrated," and the mom started going, "Shut up." We were like, "Scoreboard," but no. So Chloe, who is our starter, Sydney, Grace, Mackenzie, and Yarden. Yarden played 37. So did Grace. Mackenzie played 34, Sydney played 32, and Chloe played 38. Sarah Scalia played 16, Lily played 5, Lexus played 1. So literally, we just kept our starters in the entire game, and they were like fucking killing it the entire game.
Yeah, they just
How many people do they have to keep playing for the men's in order for them to keep up? Like, that's what I'm saying. We have such a good team. We literally just were like, yeah, like our starters can literally last the entire game. Like, we don't even care. Like,
I think the atmosphere of that game definitely like really, really helped a lot because I don't even know who's in charge of like advertising for that game, whether it was like Barstool or whoever. Like
Barstool did a really good job with it too.
Barstool did a great job.
The blackout was a great idea because Ohio State fans were also wearing black, so we were like, "Oh, you're going for us today?"
Yeah.
But no, so yeah, no, the women's team is ridiculously talented. They're playing again this Sunday. I will also be at that game. They're playing they're playing against Rutgers, which isn't a great matchup, but it will also they're trying to keep the attendance the same. We play Ohio State, or we play Iowa at home.
That's going to be the game that is going to decide the Big Ten. Because Iowa's also 8-1 in the Big Ten.
No, they're not. They're 14. There's 8-1 in the Big Ten.
The Big Ten,
yeah.
Well, we also will play Iowa
they're
twice.
They're definitely a hell of a lot better of a team than Iowa is because I will tell you right now,
they're a lot better of a team than everybody.
I am not a fan
except South Carolina, and I still think we could possibly beat them.
I think they will roll Iowa because I'm not a fan of Caitlin Clark. And the only reason is because she shoots shots from like half court for no reason. Like, you're not helping your team when you just spot up from half court for no reason. Like, yeah, she'll make one like every now and then.
Okay, this is interesting.
But like,
Jackson.
she's just a highlight tape and doesn't actually help her team.
Do we see something that's kind of weird? So apparently the IU game is still going on tonight. Apparently it is, for those of you who can't see, it is currently live.
It's still showing a live.
Yeah, it's fourth quarter with 48 seconds.
That just shows you that whoever was running that scorebook just doesn't know what they're doing.
No, it just proves that the game was so interesting they weren't paying attention.
I was gonna say either that or they like just got so into the game that they just kind of forgot to.
No, but I'm just point out, and particularly, I'm calling out Jimmy Davis here, who says, "Why would you ever go to a women's game? They're so boring." No, they're not. They're more better than the men's game. Like the atmosphere is so much better. But no, anyway, so yeah, they're fantastic. They're if they don't move up to number 2, I'm gonna be pissed. I'll be absolutely pissed.
Yeah, they were what number.
They were 6, and Ohio State was number 2.
Like we have to be in the top 5, obviously.
We're 100% in the top 5, but if we don't move up to number 2, that'll piss me off because Ohio State was also 18-1.
Yeah.
The problem is that like LSU's still undefeated, South Carolina's still undefeated. They're gonna keep Stanford up there because
they have 2 losses. They're not.
They're still gonna keep them up there though. I'm not saying that they should.
If Ohio State was above Stanford, why they had 1 loss?
They're gonna keep Stanford. I think they will put IU at 4.
No, I think IU will go to at least 3.
They're gonna keep UConn ahead of IU because they love UConn.
We could beat UConn easily right now.
I think they could. I heard UConn's not
after we beat UNC, the women's team. Because by the way, you weren't there for that game, which you should have been. We literally the entire game because we were up at one point by almost 19 points, right?
Yeah.
UNC was ranked by the way. We were number 5 and they were number 9. We literally just started going like this, going just like last night, do, and we literally were just fucking with them. And literally the mom and stuff were going, oh, shut up. And so we literally at the end,
women's basketball.
We were up by at least 15. We started going, we want UConn, and literally the entire fan section was going, yeah.
I think didn't somebody foul out last night for Ohio State?
It was no, somebody fouled out for us too.
Oh, somebody.
Mackenzie Holmes fouled out.
Yeah, that's right.
She got the biggest standing ovation I've ever seen in my life.
But yeah, like when she walked off the court,
she was our MVP, and then we started chanting MVP because she had 26 points. She had like 6 rebounds. She had like 7 assists. Dude, she was fucking ballistic. But no, I think what the standings right now, because I don't look at AP, I look at coaches. I'm sorry, I hate the coaches poll, or I hate the AP poll. It's not. They're actually, if you look at it, they're a little different.
Oh, one team's 3 instead of 4.
No. You look at the entire, not just the top 5. UNC in the AP poll is 8, and the coaches poll they're 13. Like there's a big difference.
For women's?
Yes.
What are you looking at?
Right here. If you go to the AP, UNC is 8. UCLA, you go here, UCLA is 13.
You're Googling it. That's standings. Look
That's
on ESPN.
rankings.
Rankings is just like record based.
It's
so
not.
Like
they look at
mine,
it. LSU is number 4 on mine. They're 20-0. So how is it record based?
LSU is number 4 on this one.
Yes, that's because this is the coaches and AP.
The one
polls.
AP has UNC at 15. Coaches has UNC at 19.
Correct. That's what I just said.
I thought you said 8. I don't know.
No, I said UCLA.
I
UCLA is
thought you said
8.
UNC.
No, UCLA is 8 and 13 is UCLA on coaches. But my point is, coaches right now is way more accurate. It has South Carolina at 1, Stanford at 2, LSU, UConn, Ohio
I
State,
love
Indiana.
IU. I think they're a great team. I don't think anyone in the country could beat South Carolina.
I'm telling you right now, I do.
They haven't even played a close game yet.
Who?
South Carolina.
Who have they played that they've really? The only good team they played is Stanford,
Maryland, UCLA, and all these other teams. They like none of their games are close. They're the best. They have a girl that can dunk. Like,
well, yeah, so do we. They just don't. Sydney Parrish is 6'4". Like, she could dunk. Or no, Sydney Parrish is actually. I think she's taller than that. I'm just curious.
She's not 6. There's no way she's 6'4". Because I sat next to her at a football game.
So did I, buddy. I was sitting there. Sydney Parrish. Let's see.
My friend, she's 6'2".
Okay, she's 6'2". So she's taller than me, and I can almost dunk.
Yeah. Nick Malice just telling me to go rizz
And also,
up.
we have
like,
Mackenzie Holmes. Mackenzie Holmes, I know for a fact, has to be. She has to be taller than that, because Mackenzie Holmes is our center. Let's see, shall we? Now I'm just curious. Mackenzie Holmes is 6'3". So yeah, she can dunk easy. But no, no. This team I think is great. I love this team. I think that I'm saying we could go to the Natty. Now it depends on what side. Because if we get fucked and we get like Stanford, South Carolina, and everybody on our side, that's going to be really tough. But if we get a decent pick and we get like just one of them on our side,
who did IU lose to?
UConn last year.
No, they lost to Michigan State this year.
Yeah, they lost to Michigan State on a game. I think we actually had injuries that game too, which is why we were all pissed.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Grace Berger was out with something. Maybe that wasn't that game.
Yeah, Grace was out for a while. She just got back not too long ago.
Yeah, Grace was out. Sydney was also. I don't know if Sydney went out for a game. I can't remember. There was a couple people that went out, but like.
Yeah, I think the only teams that are better than IU are South Carolina and Stanford.
Stanford is not better. They have 2 losses.
I mean, one of them is to South Carolina.
Correct.
And the other one's to USC. So, whatever.
I don't even see. Where is Stanford on here? I don't even see.
They're number 3 in there.
No. I mean, like, on their schedule. I don't even see them on South Carolina's schedule.
I think IU, it's going to depend on their draw. I have a bad feeling that they're just going to put UConn as a 1 seed just because. And then they're just going to give IU a 2 seed and pair them with, like, South Carolina or Stanford.
They just really love UConn.
I just. Also, LSU is undefeated, but I don't know who they've beaten. Okay, they have not beaten. Okay, LSU has not beaten a single ranked team.
Oh, that's why they're not showing up on their schedule. Stanford lost to South Carolina in a freaking neutral, like it was a tournament. It wasn't an actual like game. It counted, but it wasn't like part of their schedule. It was in a tournament.
If it counted, then it's part of their schedule.
Okay, if you look on their schedule, on both their schedules, it doesn't show up.
You're probably looking at like conference.
No, I'm looking at schedule.
We can move. It doesn't.
My point is that like the women's team is fantastic. I don't think they get enough credit across any school and anywhere. Women's basketball doesn't get enough credit. You know, they're always like, oh, they're free because nobody wants to go. But yet we just proved that we almost sold out. The only seats that were not taken was the very top.
What's
rows.
max capacity? Like 17,000?
It's less than that. It's like 15. Isn't
here,
it?
let me look it up.
17,222.
Yeah, and they had almost 11,000
10,000,
people
11,000?
This is the highest any women's game has
I
ever
want to.
had.
When do they play Purdue?
Who?
IU women.
They play Purdue later in the year. Hang on, I have it.
I'll probably go to that game.
But like, that's why I don't understand why that game. Literally, Purdue isn't even that good. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
they play Purdue.
They play Purdue
on
on February 5th, or no,
they play
the 19th.
Purdue,
yeah,
and then they play home on
February 19th. But like, literally, if I had to choose any of the upcoming games to go to, I would choose.
I do kind of regret not going last
Iowa,
night because everyone that
Michigan over Purdue.
Yeah, I do regret not going last night because everyone that I know that went said they had fun. So I kind of do regret not going.
I usually get there about an hour to an hour and 10 minutes early for a women's game. I get front row student section. I got there an hour and 10 minutes early. I didn't even get the main student section. I had to sit to the side of the bleachers, like on the bleachers, but to the left side. He got there like, well, how early did you get there?
I got there late.
So yeah, and he had to sit at the very top of like where we sat.
Because the whole stadium.
Because I was picking up friends and all that.
Yeah,
on the way there,
it's just it's ridiculous. But yeah, so I mean, I brought my roommate. He has never actually been to a game. Sadly, he came later than me, and I told him like call me when you get here, and like I noticed he didn't call me when the game started and stuff, and so I like was trying to call him, and apparently like we both had a problem with our reception. So I was like, oh, he must not be coming. He did come, and he sat up in the stands like. And I was like, oh, man, I'm sorry. Like, I felt bad. He was like, he'd never been to a game. And he was like, that was one of the most fun things I've ever done. I was like, yeah. Like, it's insane. Fun. It's really fun.
Those games get hyped.
They do. And they're always a fun time. Most underrated, I feel like, across any sport. Women's basketball is so fun to watch. So I really, really like that. Let's just see. There was something... I wanted to talk about a couple of things.
Quincy, did you want to give your AP poll?
Oh, my computer just died. Oh. I'll find it. Hold on.
How about make me a short video and I'll put it at the end.
I found it.
Okay.
All right. This is from the start of the week. So I made this poll on Monday. So well that team lost, so they shouldn't be. Bear with me, okay? Here's my poll. Number 1, Purdue, just because I don't think they're the best team. I think some of these teams right behind them could definitely beat them.
Houston.
But the thing is, so Houston actually lost to Temple.
I know. But, I mean, there's always an upset. So they would have been
number 1.
But I mean, hell, they lost to Rutgers. Purdue did. So, I mean, there's always an upset.
But the thing is they have the one loss, and they're in I'm not going to call the Big Ten the best conference because you can argue the Big 12 or the SEC.
I think Alabama could beat them.
But they're one up. Okay, number 1, Purdue. Number 2, Tennessee. Number 3, Alabama. Number 4, Kansas State, who's been playing really well after they
beat Kansas.
Demolished. Or they didn't. They
only won by like 8.
They've been beating basically every team. They did just lose to Iowa State, but that was on the road. That was a real tough game. Number 5, Kansas. Number 6, Arizona. 7, UCLA. Arizona did play UCLA on like a week ago, and that was a really good game. Arizona beat them at home. I still think UCLA is a better team, but I put Arizona ahead. 8, Houston. My issue with Houston is they've been playing really well against the top teams that they've played. Like the only top team they've lost to is Alabama, and that was a really close game on the road. Like they beat, who did they beat? They beat Virginia, they beat Oregon, they beat someone else that was really good. I can't remember. But they've been struggling. They beat St. Mary's too, I think. But they've been really struggling against like subpar teams. They've been barely winning, and it finally caught up to them. They lost at home to Temple. So I don't know. I feel like they're a team that could get upset early in March, but if they get past the first or second round, they are a true Final Four contender. They're my best team going into this season, and they haven't really lived up to it. Number 9, Virginia. Number 10, Texas, who fired Chris Beard because he beat his wife or something. Don't do that. Don't beat women. But yeah, they fired him as they should have. But
I'm sorry, the way he said that and then rolled past it, he goes, you like beat his wife or something. Yeah, don't beat women, and then just moved on. Like that's not how you say that, but okay, go ahead. Okay, sorry.
And remember, kids.
Yeah, remember. Yeah, like that sounds like a motivational thing you find at the bottom of a Snapple.
They're still playing well without their head coach.
That sounds like a trivia fact. You open the Snapple and on there's like, did you know that you should not beat people? Well, thank you.
Did you know domestic violence can land you with 20 years in prison?
Well, now you do.
Okay, 11 TCU. 11 TCU, 12 Miami. I'm really high on Miami. Miami is one of those teams where if they're on it, they're one of the best teams in the country. But if they're not on it, they are getting blown out by a random team. But the high-end talent is basically why I love Miami. 13 Xavier. They did lose to DePaul, but other than that, they've been playing really well. They beat UConn twice, who I have at 14. I have UConn 14. Also, that IU win at Xavier's looking better and better by the day. 15, Iowa State. I will be moving them up. They played really well against Kansas State. I never know every year whether or not Iowa State's good or not. This year they look pretty good. 16, Baylor. 17, Gonzaga, who lost to Loyola Marymount, which was really concerning because Gonzaga hadn't lost to Loyola Marymount since 1991. And, I will say Gonzaga's conference is getting better. It used to be...
Wait, hang on. While you're on Gonzaga, I do really want to quick point out that
the reason I can't stand that people put Purdue at number 1 is because everybody's like, well, we beat Gonzaga and Duke. A, you beat them in a neutral location. It was during a tournament. B, you killed them. But A, they both suck. Like, Gonzaga's starting to come back now, but they were not good at the beginning of the year. And literally, the best team you've played other than that is Penn State. You've beat Rutgers, Florida A&M, New Orleans, Davidson, Hofstra, Milwaukee, Austin, Perry, Marquette.
They're still beating teams in the Big Ten. But anyway.
Correct, but they barely beat Marquette by 5.
But Gonzaga's conference is getting better. They're not as bad as they once were. Like, San Francisco made the tournament. St. Mary's always has a really good team. Portland beat Villanova this year. So, like, there's better teams, but, like, come on. Shouldn't be losing to Loyola Marymount. 18 Auburn, who just got stomped by A&M. I'm not going to have them ranked. Auburn's overrated. 19 Charleston, who has won 20 games in a row last I checked. They were 21-1. And they play a style of ball where we're going to pass. We're not shooting until we're open, and when we're open, we're making the shot. It is hard to guard them. They have some sharpshooters on that team. 20 Florida Atlantic. They are at like 20. They're just like Charleston. They're like 19-1 or something. And they really haven't had any close games. They beat Florida early in the year. Good for them. 21. I have IU. I definitely think they are one of the 20 best teams in the country. I have them at 21. They've been playing great recently. They're 14-6. They've been beating some really good teams. I think 21 is fair. They weren't ranked in the AP, and I disagreed with that, but I mean, I can see why they wouldn't rank them. They did have some teams that were ranked ahead of them that I did not agree with. Like, I'll just give you one right now. Clemson should not be ahead of IU. New Mexico should not be ahead of IU. Duke, who was unranked but got more votes, should not be ahead of IU. But I have IU at 21. I have Wisconsin at 22. I have Marquette at 23. Who has the number 1 offense in the country, actually, but their defense is horrible. So they're going to be one of those teams that's going to have to outscore people. Providence at 24 and St. Mary's at 25. That is my poll.
All right, I know we have to end it. I know we're really close to it. I just have one more thing I want to give a shout-out to. Head coach Terry Morin, on my birthday, broke the record. She is the winningest coach in IU history.
Yeah.
She got win number 189. She has now pushed that to 191 with the win.
She'll get to 200 by the end of the year.
Oh, well, yeah, that's just 9 more wins. That's easy. That's easy money. And then also you have to realize that we're definitely going to the Natty, so that's at least, 4 more wins? So, yeah, we'll push it. We're good. But, yeah, no, she's. We even had a Terry chat going on before the game, which was fun. They actually gave her a ball, President Witten of IU, and I don't remember who the other guy was, gave her a signed ball and everything like that, and they did a ceremony. It's so funny. It just shows who she is, though. As soon as she got it from her, President Witten left, and she literally just took the ball and she chucked it to one of the assistant coaches and then walked over with the team, and I laughed so hard. But yeah, no, shout out to her. She's a fabulous coach. I'm so glad we have her.
Yeah, that just shows what her priorities are.
Oh, 100%. Like, I don't give a shit about this ball. I give a shit about winning this game.
The throwing, that reminds me. I saw a video of this dude. He's like, the team said I wouldn't shoot my senior night ball. Yeah. And they shot it from like half court and he made it.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was a great show. Great show to start off the new season.
Next episode, we're doing bracketology.
Absolutely not this early. Bro, I'll make a bracket. Why are we doing bracketology a month and a half in advance?
Because I want to. That's why.
Priorities. Super Bowl, NBA All-Star game, and push to go to the playoffs is coming up. There are so many things over bracketology a month and a half in advance.
We have an hour and a half to talk, dude.
That's a lot of stuff. Anyway, my point is that was a good way to start off the season. It was a fun time. I'm glad that we had a lot to talk about. Again, congratulations to all of the teams that won that we talked about, and even the teams that didn't, sadly. But once again, a shout out to our producer Jackson. And once again, before we leave, make sure to go follow us
follow us on our social media at Bloomington_buddies. We appreciate everybody who's watching, whether it be on YouTube or listening on Spotify. But yeah, we'll be done for the day. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe to our channel if you're on YouTube, or make sure to turn on the notifications for our Spotify shows. And we should be back on with another episode next Friday, because sadly, I don't know that we're going to be able to do more than one show a week just because of the way all of our schedules work out. We had a change in our schedules for second semester. So we'll definitely fit more into one day, so that'll be a little bit different. But yeah, we should be back next Friday. But for right now, I'm Eddie Finn. Glad we had Quincy Bell on here, and of course our producer Jackson. Thank you guys, appreciate it. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.